Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Watford 1, Chelsea 2, in what was arguably one of the worst Chelsea performances under Thomas Tuchel, one of the wackiest games of football you'll ever experience, but somehow Chelsea have done what champions do, which is dig deep, get the result when you're not playing very well, and we certainly weren't playing very well tonight, but we come away from Vicarage Road with all 3 points. And if that isn't a good enough reason to hit the like button on today's video, let's see if we can go for maybe 5,500. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. But first things first, there are some things that are bigger than football, and once again, at a football game, there was an incident in the crowd which led to a Watford fan being taken to hospital for a supposed heart attack, and the good news is he is well. So well done to Marcus Alonso also for alerting the medical staff and all of the ambulance crew and everyone at the ground, reacting as best and as quickly as they can. And it was at a time in the game where Chelsea, for the first 10 minutes or so, had been absolutely peppered by Watford. We were under the cosh, we were having to defend, we looked as though we were absolutely ready to concede a goal. And we came out of the blocks, well, we didn't really come out of the blocks to be honest, as it was if there was a technical difficulty and Chelsea just didn't show up. Chelsea didn't turn up. For the first 7 minutes of the game, how we didn't concede a goal is beyond me. We certainly deserved to. Marcus Alonso, in the opening 3 minutes, managed to give the ball away, I think, a record 3 or 4 times, which is ever so slightly insane. Trevor Chalobah made a massive block, as well as Edouard Mendy making a massive save to deny Watford going ahead in the opening couple of minutes of the game. There was then a massive delay. Chelsea come back, and we're thinking, well, in all the circumstances we could have imagined, it is never any way that we want the game to be stopped, but Chelsea didn't come out any better than when we first came out, which was bad in the first place, if you know what I'm saying. So all round, I think to conclude, this is in actual fact a massive win for Chelsea Football Club, because you need to win these kind of games, and in other seasons we would not have won these kind of matches. And credit to Thomas Tuchel for seeing early enough in this one, unlike against Manchester United, that in order for Chelsea to get the desired outcome from the match, which is 3 points to score more than the opponents, we needed to make changes. There were some atrocious performances that we're going to go into individually in this 6 things we learnt video, because even though it's a win, there are some alarming things to address in today's video regarding some seriously poor individual performances and some serious questions moving forward. But without any further ado, this is 6 things we learnt, the match review series here on GBFC, where we've got green boxes for good things, yellow for things that are questions or things that we need to build upon moving forward, but they're not that bad, and red is bad, straight up bad. And we begin box number 1 with a green for Hakim Ziyech. Delighted for this man. I've said it over the course of the last 7 days or so. I'm very quick to criticise Ziyech because there have been a lot of times where I've just felt as though he could be doing so much more for Chelsea Football Club, so much more for himself and so much more for the team. However, he came off the bench today, and despite a couple of passes that were a little bit wayward, the goal is entirely his creation. Mason Mount gets the assist after scoring the earlier goal. Hakim Ziyech with a beautiful finish. Yeah, great one. Nice. You can tell I've had 3 hours sleep. Beautiful finish, putting it into the top corner past Dan Bachmann, the Watford goalkeeper. And I think, again, it's an inspired substitution. A one that Thomas Tuchel probably didn't even envisage having to make, with Trevor Chalobah needing to go off with an injury. I think if there was anybody who you would have thought would have gone off from the midfield after obviously Saul was taken off, rightly so, you'd have thought maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek would have been able to come off later in the game if you need to bring on Hakim Ziyech. But the key thing about Ziyech that we saw, which we did not see at any point in this game from Chelsea, is Hakim Ziyech adopts that position out wide, just inside Chelsea's half, allowing Azpilicueta to go forward, which then gives the Watford defenders one more player to worry about. They're worried about Azpi's position, which then creates more space for someone like a Kai Havertz, Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount to then get on the ball some more. Thomas Tuchel, once again, credit to him, saw that we needed to change things once more, brings on Romelu Lukaku, Azpilicueta comes off, and then you start to see that Hakim Ziyech can control the game in a game where Chelsea had very few moments where we actually managed to maintain possession without Watford players absolutely swarming us to win it back. Hakim Ziyech was there, brilliant finish, and I think overall his substitution coming on not only literally won the game for Chelsea because he scored the winner, but it also calmed us down a little bit. Even towards the end when Watford were trying to get forwards, we were a lot more controlled in our positional sense in terms of how we could see out the game. But we move into box number 2, and it is a red for Saul Niguez. And I don't want to make this like a huge hammering on Saul Niguez, but I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Saul Niguez, when he signed for Chelsea on loan, he was unhappy with his role at Atletico Madrid. He lost his place in the middle because, quite frankly, his performances were not good enough. He started playing a lot under Simeone at left wing back. Comes to Chelsea, Chelsea give him a loan, and you're thinking, well, we know the player that Saul Niguez can be. Let's hope that he doesn't come the same way he was in the last year or two at Atletico Madrid. Sadly, when you're trying to resurrect your initial form from the earlier stages of your career and you move leagues, you don't speak the language, you come to the European champions, a team that are fighting in the hardest league in the world, it is very, very difficult to reinvent yourself. And therefore, as a result of that, I think Saul Niguez has A, had a lack of playing time, which does not benefit him. B, every time he's been out on the field almost, apart from I think in one game in the EFL Cup, he's looked so off the pace. He's trying to play his own kind of style of football that does not work in this Thomas Tuchel system. It does not work in English football. He's too slow. He gives the ball away. He looks lost. And I even had to put on Twitter at half-time that despite Ruben Loftus-Cheek having an awful half in the first half, it still looked as though he was having to carry Saul Niguez because Saul was just absolutely swallowed by the occasion. And I've given him a red today because it was a woeful performance. And I remember a few years ago, there was a Bakayoko performance at Watford away where he got sent off. And without being funny, at times it was as if we were playing with 10 men. It wasn't just Saul, but his performance, as well as a couple of others, was that much worse than anybody else. Saul Niguez, I think that was his chance. He came off at half-time, and I just wonder if he's going to get any more. We move into box number 3, and it's another red for his Spanish counterpart. I thought I'd try and get the reds out as early as I possibly can. Then we can move into actually celebrating this massive 3 points. It's a red for Marcos Alonso. The stark difference in quality between Ben Chilwell and Marcos Alonso was alarming at times today. He gave the ball away, like I said, multiple times in the opening few seconds of the game. Put Christian Pulisic, who didn't have the best game himself, under so much pressure by giving him the ball in such stupid times and stupid moments. And again, apart from an exquisite touch to bring the ball down from a lovely Rudiger pass to then give it to Havertz, who gave it to Mount to score Chelsea's opener, other than that one moment, I thought Marcos Alonso was really bad in this game today. And if we look forward to West Ham, who might not be in the best form right now, they lost again today. They drew again, against Brighton. Against West Ham, we're going to have an even more difficult challenge than what we had today. West Ham have some very exciting attacking players. They're well organised. And I just feel as though Alonso's going to get caught out. And I think against West Ham at the weekend, we're going to have to try something different in that left wing back position. Alonso had to play the full 90, which again, Thomas Tuchel said it himself. Alonso is not the player, when you look at the busy month of December, who's going to be able to play 90 minutes in every single one of these matches. I thought it was poor from Alonso, but credit for that touch to set up Havertz, to set up Mount for Chelsea's opening goal. Speaking of Mason Mount, he's box number 4. He gets a green today. First goal, beautiful finish. Again, nobody was playing well until Chelsea scored. But it is a wonderful finish from Mason Mount. And again, he's aware Hakim Ziyech wins the ball back. To score that winner, Mason Mount provides the assist. And in games like this, you need clutch players. You need to call upon players who, even if they're not playing well, the entire team isn't playing well, and you're concerned that as a result of that, Watford can smell blood, to use Rudiger's words, against us here. But Mason Mount delivered in the moments that we needed him to. He gets a box number 4. I thought it was good. I'm glad he's back in the side. And I think in games like this where Chelsea really, really needed to pull the rabbit out of the hat to create something out of nothing, he scored the opening goal, gets the assist, and he deserved the box. We move into box number 5, and it's a green for Edouard Mendy. Nothing he can do really about the goal. It's a very smart finish from Dennis, the Watford attacker. He kind of expects Rudiger to come lunging in. Rudiger stands his ground, which, again, you could argue it's not even that bad defending because he is the last man. He lunges in, makes a foul, gives away a penalty, and then he also gets himself sent off. So Dennis just sees that gap, puts it into the bottom corner, takes a deflection off of Rudiger, who got close to blocking it, and then it's beyond Mendy's reach. But Edouard Mendy, in that first half when we weren't playing very well, made 2 massive saves, including one very early in the game, had moments where the Chelsea defenders were putting him under a bit of pressure because Watford are pressuring very high, and Chelsea were kind of faffing around with it at the back because there was no one in the middle, Ruben or Saul Niguez, to receive it. There wasn't that natural width and trust, I guess you could say, in the wing-backs in order to give it to them. So Mendy was put under pressure, dealt with it very well, even if at times it did just make us look like what the hell's going on. And then he made a very good late save as well to deny Kucha, the Watford player, from the free kick. But the one moment for me, which was enough for me to give him a green box in a game where I could have spoken a lot more about yellows or reds, was when he gets fouled by Tom Cleverley, 30 yards out of goal. That moment, to deny the one-on-one in that time, was massive. And I think one thing that we know about Petr Cech was his decision-making was simply sensational. In moments where a lot of goalkeepers wouldn't have that ability or confidence in themselves to actually make an executive decision like Mendy did to come all that way out, and Chelsea still don't concede a goal, it's incredibly intelligent from Mendy. And today, once again, as he has done so frequently this season, big saves get Chelsea points. And if you want to win the Premier League, that's exactly what you need from your goalkeeper. Box number 6. I know that it's kind of weird to have this as kind of like a solemn toned video, but we really need to improve. We got away with this one massively today, in my opinion. I'm even wearing a flipping yellow jumper because it's cold in my room, which is kind of resembling Watford, which probably is the respect they deserve for a good performance. But Chelsea somehow get it done. But it is a yellow box for the quality in depth in the squad. We talk about having a massive squad, but at this moment in time, the fact that we had 6 players today who could not start the game because they were either injured or a doubt with other fixtures coming up soon. And then you see Mendy down at one point, Ziyech down at one point, Chalobah going off again. I just wonder if Chelsea's Christmas period is going to just be hindered dramatically by injuries. And after seeing the consistencies or lack of consistencies with the performances today, it's a question. It's just a question at this point. We got the job done. We did all we could, which was come away from Vicarage Road with 3 points. But is the quality and the depth going to be enough with all of these crazy injuries to some of our best players? I don't know. Thomas Tuchel's just come out for his press conference. Now, I'm going to sign out of this, try and catch this one as I'm importing all of the footage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new. I can't believe we won this game. And I'm delighted that the fan is also okay because it looked at one point as though the game would not resume. Thank you for all the support. There's been 4 videos posted today. So, yeah, I hope you're all entertained. Come on, you Blues.